your host, Marla Goldberg. This podcast has been created with you in mind to acquaint you with some of the most incredible metaphysicians and spiritual leaders from around the globe who have helped others change their lives. In this interactive hour, you will be offered insights and techniques to help you make a difference in your life. Don't forget to subscribe to the show on your favorite listening platform. And here we go, on to the show. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today? It's me, Marla Goldberg, and I'm here with you for the last episode of the year of Guided Spirit Conversations. And once again, I can't tell you how grateful I am for your support, your love, and your continued subscribing to the show, because I do this for you, and without you, I wouldn't be doing this. And I just love bringing amazing people on the show. This last episode of the year is no different. And today I have Nami Nesterowicz. Nami is a healer, channeler, angel painter, and author. He has been in the healing profession since 1995. He offers intuitive guidance and healing for clients and can channel the archangels and spirit guides that watch over you, translating their messages into beautiful colors on canvas. And I had one of those, so yes, they're beautiful. In addition, Nami's clients return repeatedly for these painting sessions to see how they progressed with their goals and to see how their guides suggest they move forward. Nami teaches about archangels, from Michael to Gabriel to Milagros and more. He teaches students to feel their energies, call the angels in to help in all areas of their life, and identify areas of unease in their body in order to heal. His main goal is helping students hone in on their innate intuitive skills, developing them further and unlocking abilities they may not have discovered yet. And there's many of you who are just starting to know that you haven't discovered it, but you're on the precipice. Additionally, Nami has painted over 5,000 spiritual portraits, has helped over 10,000 clients. His deep and vast experience make him an ideal healer, teacher, and mentor. In addition, Nami is one of the co-owners of the Bag Lady in Charlotte. You may hear me make my announcements that I go and I'm a reader at the Bag Lady. Well, Nami is one of the reasons that I'm there. Welcome, Nami.
Thank you very much, Marla.
How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm so happy to finally get you on. So Nami has given me sessions and it has been so opening. But how did you start talking to the angels? I mean, it's not everybody is aware of what they're communicating or who they're communicating with. So what was your start?
Well, I was tired of doing massage for 30 years because I would see things in people's bodies, traumas. So I put a canvas on the wall, 16 by 20, had my eyes closed, went into meditation. And I said to you, God, the universe, I want to not work so hard anymore. I don't want to do physical labor. I'm exhausted. So if you can show me on this canvas what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to just go into meditation and let the things come out. So I heard the words. I had an angel reader coming to my house, Laura Lynn in Ohio. And I heard that painting has to go to Laura Lynn. And I thought, okay, my eyes are closed and I'm hearing this. So I go into meditation, into just breathing in, and I put music on, and I started painting. I had paint all over my table, watercolors, glitter. My son helped set me up, and I put the canvas on the back of our wall, and I could feel energy coming through me, and I was just starting to cry, and it was just coming through, and I was painting, and I opened up my eyes, and I thought, my son was 6 at the time, and I thought, my 6-year-old could do this. This doesn't help me decide what I'm supposed to do the rest of my life. So my son came down the stairs and he says, oh my gosh, you painted an angel. And I had such goosebumps. And I said, that's not an angel. He goes, you silly, don't you see it? So I put the painting down and he kept putting it back up all week long. And then the angel reader came to my house and came down the stairs and saw the painting. And she says, I'd like to commission you. And 3 other people in the group said, I'd like to commission you. Okay. So I bring the painting up after she's done with her sessions. And I said to her, I have to gift this to you because I was told before meditation that I have to gift this to you. She said, I know, Nami. I said, how did you know? She says, because when I was 5 years old, I was lost in a field with Gabriel. And Gabriel pointed to the right direction and you painted that scene. That's how I know it's for me. And she goes, you're the biggest skeptic and God loves skeptics because you got out of your way and you just let it come through you. So that's how it started. My son was the one that told me I was painting angels. I had no idea.
That is phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. And you've had a lot of changes in your life bringing you to this moment.
Yes.
I don't want to say it, so I'm going to let you say, about your changes so that people can understand.
Okay. I was a woman for 51 years. And at the age of 2, I knew I wanted to be a boy. I saw myself in the mirror and said, who is that? That's not me. Pigtails, little what, So when I moved here, my name changed in 2011 from Nancy to Nami. And Spirit named me. And I want to share this with you that Nami means I man backwards. I had no idea.
Wow.
So, changed my name. Then I started doing the paintings. And then we moved here to North Carolina. I was not going to go back to that old name again. And I met Susan at the Bag Lady. We went into meditation. And I just knew I wanted to be, this was it for me. I wanted to be different, back to myself as to who I originally knew I was authentically, me. And she saw it. She saw it during the meditation. And I just knew from that moment on, I couldn't go back. And my spirituality changed as well. It's funny when you are a female, the energy goes a different way. It goes from either up to down or up down to up. Because my son has taught me that too about energy. Okay. When I became a male, my energy, I thought I lost my gifts. I was painting, but I wasn't feeling that energy coming in. So I went to a Cindy Dale class and she talked about energy flow. And I was like a little kid. It was like a light bulb went off in my head. And I said to her, she says, go ahead, Nami. I says, I used to put mirrors up in my head so that I could keep the energy flowing the way it was. You just taught me that I need to change my energy because I'm male now. Once I shifted that energy, it was like, wow, it was like doors opened up for me.
Wow. That's pretty amazing.
That was pretty cool.
It's very cool.
So I'm just here to help people, light their light and ignite their light.
And I love in the bio where you talk about how, it's about translating their messages so that they know, what they're supposed to do through the angel messages and how they've progressed and how they're supposed to move forward. Are they doing what they're supposed to be doing per their messages or not, which is different than a psychic reading. Because psychic readings, and as you know, with my reading, I don't do future casting because you just change one thing and it changes the whole flow. And then people get angry, like, but you said I was going to blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, what did you do different? How did you shift the energy?
Right.
And that's what happened with future casting. But with what you do, talking to the angels, it's different.
It is different.
So explain the difference.
There's a feeling that comes through. I don't know how to explain it. I can feel the energy coming through. And then when I'm painting, I can still feel that energy going into the painting. But it's definitely a feeling. I have a lot of, it's a knowing and feeling at the same time. I can't explain it. They first started off with me having my eyes closed and they would say the word red in my mind. I could see the word red. And then I'm like, but my eyes are closed. I can't see red. Feel the energy coming through. So I really had to, it took me a while to really feel that energy coming through. And they would come in once a week. That one angel would come in. Michael was the first one. And I would just literally shake because I could feel the love. It's powerful. I can't explain it. It's a vibration, it's just a vibration. But he was blue. So I would just paint blue for a whole week. and eat eat blueberries, because I felt like I had to understand the concept of it all. So, and I use selenite. That's Michael.
Love it.
No more at war. We're at peace. He always tells me we're at peace. So I use broken pieces of selenite. So it's an energy that comes through that, and they give me messages as they're coming through, like calm or peace, love, lots of love, and to call on us. I see angels on the sidelines of people a lot of times going, I want to come in. They won't call on me. They will not come in because we have free will.
That's right.
So I call on them every day because I wouldn't be here.
I call them on them too, the same way I call on them too. And it's like, come on, step in here. And I don't know if you ever hear my announcements, but I always say, your beings on the other side love you and they want to help you, but they can't do it without your requesting their assistance.
Yes. And they told me that a guide is like a seeing eye guide. They will guide us, like hold our hand and guide us. But an archangel or I'm thinking of the angel behind us, our
guardian angel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Actually push us. Like I went through a car in 2005. That's really the transition of my life change. When I went through that windshield, they pushed me back through the windshield and said, it's not your time yet. My father was one of them, but I know that there was another angel that pushed me through and said, it's not your time. You have work to do. I had no idea it was going to be this.
And look at the work you're doing. It's just so phenomenal. It truly is. And so as this is the last episode of the season, I love to give the listeners/viewers insight into 2023. What can you talk about regarding 2023? What are you feeling? What are you seeing is going to happen? You can, put them in little containers so you can talk, break it down, or you can just randomly share what comes out. This is yours.
I'm hearing peace, to be at peace within ourselves, because it starts here. Once we have the inner peace, that ripples out throughout the world. So, and I'm doing a lot right now with clearing water. It's really cool. I'll show you some pictures. Clearing water. We cleared the Mississippi. I have a group of people that we pray, and we clear bodies of water, because they hold emotions, right? Water is the emotion. So if we clear that, it starts to a ripple effect again. So I did with two other people in Lake Placid, we cleared a lake that was supposedly haunted. Okay. And it's called CORE, where people had tuberculosis and would go to these places in Lake Placid and actually sit outside on a porch and breathe in that cold air. Well, some of them would commit suicide and go into that lake. So when this gentleman was showing me he says a lot of ghost writers come here, and ghost people that do all the hauntings, they would feel this energy, and it was so overwhelming they left. And I says, well, it comes from the lake. So once you clear the lake, it's going to clear the land. And people are probably depressed here because they're feeling about that energy that's coming off that emotion of water. So we did. And you should see the pictures. There's rainbows that were coming off that lake. There was angels. You could see them ascending. It was amazing. And it was an amazing experience.
Wow, that sounds phenomenal. And it's just, I agree with you about peace. And water is a big amplifier of energy. So I think it's brilliant that you're doing it, because obviously if the water is filled with a lot of negative stuff, toxins or toxic energies.
Yes.
That's where you get that I'm hearing undulating. I don't know if it's undulating, but where the waves get bigger, more issues would shake the earth, hence earthquakes, tsunamis, things like that.
Right.
It makes it, more prevalent to have happen in a bigger way because of that water. So I've heard of a lot of different kinds of praying and healing. Water's a good one. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah. And one of the women does a beautiful water prayer she got from Native Americans. And she does each direction before we start. And it's just opening up sacred space. It's just beautiful.
Is this like a group of people that meet in the store and do this, or are you on
I
Zoom?
met them in a group that I belong to, a spiritual group, and he just showed me that one day his house, and I went, "Can I see that water?" So that's how it started. So and I love doing it with different people, because you really can't do it by yourself. You know, two or more, he listens. It's very true. So we had 3. It was awesome. So I want to keep doing that. And I have somebody from California that's starting to get a group to do it too, when she heard this. So it'd be kind of cool to have it all over, right? We can have these groups all over the place doing these beautiful water blessings.
Well, I live on water. We should talk.
Yes. That's good.
That would be lovely.
Yes.
So what else are you seeing or feeling for 2023 for the population?
Justice is coming to a lot of people that have done us wrong, done the country wrong. Things are going to come up. I keep hearing the number 3, right? I think this is a 3-year. It's 6, which breaks down to 3. It's the Trinity. It's a very powerful year.
Oh, that's so interesting, because in my Chinese medicine numbers, you know, you have your yearly number, your cycle. My cycle this year is 6. So I find the irony in that phenomenal.
That's awesome. Yeah. So that's what I heard. I heard that we're going to be more at peace. There's things that are going to come out that have been hidden that are going to come out more now.
So do you feel that the political situation will become
more apparent?
Less, okay.
More apparent.
Okay. That's a great way of putting it. I'm trying to be careful. I don't want to be political, but I really feel that there's been a lot of damage to both sides. It's not just one or the other. I'm not going to go there.
Yes.
But that, you know, some people have sort of gone off the ledge in trying to control and manipulate their parties.
Yes.
And what really concerns me, and I don't know if have you ever seen The Handmaid's Tale? Or that's series? Well, it talks about how fundamental Christians take over the government, like they take over the world and the government, and how, you know, and the changing, and then, you know, you start hearing people like certain, when they were running, talking about how Christianity should be put into politics, and it's like, no, it has no place for it there.
Right.
And so I like the fact that you're saying more justice. So I'm hoping that people will get a handle on having their own opinions rather than being sheep and just following somebody else's opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to a different aspect of life. So we've got justice, we have peace. What else are you receiving for 2023?
To bring more of your angels in. I keep hearing, you know, we want to help. You've called on us. During 9/11. We've called on that day for more help, and here they are.
Yeah. And I think that they've really helped a lot in terms of being able to find some of these. I'm hearing the word scoundrels. I don't know why they put scoundrels in my head, but scoundrels, you know, finding them, ridding, you know, of you know, they did their part for whatever the part is that they're brought in.
Yes.
But I agree that we all need to keep calling upon our angels for help in all capacities, not just personal gain.
Yes.
And not just personal healing, but let's heal the water. Let's heal government. Let's heal negative and faulty thoughts to you know, let's work through those and heal them. Not that we won't ever have them, because we're human. We have to have them.
Right. Right.
How do we grow if we don't have them?
That's right. And the other thing is, children used to play on trees. They used to climb trees.
Yes.
And the trees look sad. If you look even, you know, we have a greenway here by our house, and the trees look sad because we're on our phones. We have headphones on and we're walking. No one's paying attention to the energy. And and I take it back, because during COVID, I felt everybody, I'd watch people in the car. The first week, everybody's on their phones talking because they couldn't see people, right?
Right.
Second, all of a sudden there's no phones. I was like, wow, that's quick, that people are really becoming into their own and really paying attention. I mean, the birds, I thought the birds were spectacular during COVID because they were like, oh, they're all outside. This is so awesome, you know? So I'm
Yeah,
hearing that even the trees look sad to me. We need to be paying attention more to nature.
I agree.
I kept hearing this year is paying attention, letting yourself go and just be outside with nature.
So let's
Appreciate
talk about people being outside with nature a little bit. Because I really feel that nature supports our growth on all levels, especially spiritually,
Yes.
physically, emotionally. I know for me, when it's warm enough, I do my prayers outside. I do go to my front porch and I sit and I do my prayers. I wrap myself up in a blanket,
Yeah,
so I can do this. This is when I'm down south. I wouldn't do it today. Oh my God, I'm up in Wisconsin and it's just too cold.
yeah,
But I love the idea of at least doing your prayers, do your gratitudes in nature,
absolutely. I have
you
a wall
know?
in our backyard and I sit out there and I just love it and meditate.
Yeah. And you can make your own little respite stop, like those waterfalls, like those little tabletop things that plug in. Even if you have to take a little extension cord, let it run while you're doing gratitudes or your entire prayers, it makes such a huge difference.
It does.
And yeah, it'll make you happier and more joyful.
Mhm. Totally agree.
So, how are
But
people feeling about their abundance and prosperity this year? Where do they feel that's happening
um,
uh, on a general basis
in the 2023,
in 2023?
I'm hearing that there's going to be more people working at home, doing things from home,
Nice.
because they're realizing that corporations are not, they're not, and I get this a lot at the bag lady. I don't know. I'm not feeling I want to go back to corporate anymore. And they'll ask, what am I supposed to do? I go, well, go into yourself. What is it that you love to create? Because
Yeah.
when we love something, and I just shared this with one of my students, I told her that I said, I see you making jam. And the jam's called joy. Well, she almost flew off my chair here and she says, I'm making jam. And it's called joy.
Joy Jam. I love that.
So she's working corporate right now. But I said to her, you start making little jars, taking them to shows on the weekend, and eventually you're going to have a business and it's going to be successful because you are not just creating it, but you're putting love into that. Her grandmother gave her the recipe. So, and her grandmother was joy. So I said, there you are. So, I'm trying to tell people you don't need to go back to the corporate office if you don't want to. You have a choice.
You do have a choice. And I wish people would realize, I don't have a choice. I have bills to pay, but there are choices.
There are choices.
And
And start off small. You don't have to make it really big, but go to these shows and start off. And eventually you might not have to go back to work. You're doing something that you love.
if you do something that makes your heart sing, it's not work ever.
That's right. That's right.
And this makes my heart sing, not just the show, but what I do with people and how I help them and what I bring to try and give them, because of course I can bring a horse to water, but they have to drink, right? So if you don't want what I'm saying, that's fine. But if you do, then it can be very helpful for you to change your life, not for me to change your life,
That's right.
but for you to change your life.
That's right. That's right.
And that's how it goes. I mean, is it with your clients too, that even though you come and you do these spectacular paintings and you talk to the angels and you pass on the messages, it's still up to them to take those messages and do something, put action behind it.
Exactly. And as a massage therapist, I should tell people, I don't want to see you back here because then I'm not doing my job. And they would say, what? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. I said, no, because I want to help you, but I don't want to keep you in pain. Right. I mean, come once a month. Don't come every week.
Right.
I love you, but I feel like I'm not doing my job. So, we have a choice.
We do have a choice, but I have to tell you, as a recipient, there are times when you just want to go because the relaxation that comes with it is different than any relaxation. But I understand that if you have pain or issues and you come back week after week, that's what you don't want. But if someone's coming because they just need that hour of downtime, which they wouldn't necessarily take unless they were forced to.
Yes.
Because they're lying on a table.
Right. And my massages were not relaxing. I'm just going to let you know.
You were one of those.
I did a lot of therapy with them. So, I would want them to work on themselves and do their exercises and then come back. So
let's talk about magic and how magic plays into the information that comes through you. Because I know life is magic. It has the ability to be so amazingly magical. You don't have to be a child for that, though children are so unfiltered.
Absolutely.
That they are magic and they're able to embrace magic more readily than adults because of the way we've been conditioned. But let's talk about how magic can transform us and change our trajectory as well and what we can look for.
Well, children, I love working with them because they are magic. When they come in this room and I open up space, they all, pretty much every single child will say, they have goosebumps or what have you and say, this is awesome. And I go, what's awesome? Don't you see the angels? They're everywhere in here. So I love that. So we need to go, I feel like we should go back to being that again, that magic that we came in with. No filters, no filters on the eyes, no filters on the ears, and being in that open channel like we were as children. I mean, children are very honest. I remember one kid came into the bag lady and said to the one little kid, I don't like you. And his mother goes, oh, we don't say that. He wasn't saying he didn't like him. He just didn't like the energy or the vibration that child was, it's okay. He was being honest. I didn't say anything, but I was thinking that, we have those masks on and those blinders on, and we just need to be honest and bring that magic back. So when I start talking to people about their magic, their eyes light up. Like, what are my gifts? Well, you're a clairvoyant, because I could see you're seeing. Your eyes are big, and they're like, I do see. All of a sudden, so it brings that magic back to them.
And it makes such a difference when someone confirms that what they're seeing is real, opposed to somebody who is just conditioned to say, oh, no, that's just your imagination. It's not your imagination. You saw dead people when you were young.
Yes, I did.
Didn't you?
Yes, my cousin was my first. He was standing in front of the coffin.
Which probably was very eerie when you first saw that.
Yeah.
Were you afraid, or did you talk to him?
And he said, I just want to tell you, I told you had a gift, and I guess this was the gift. I said, okay, I'm going to, I kept pulling on my mother, and I was 11. And I said, can I go to the car? And she says, can I ask why? And I says, he's standing at the coffin and he's talking to me in the same clothes that he's on in the coffin. And she said, okay, you can go to the car and stop watching scary movies.
I have to say they do affect me as well. And it's funny because I love the fact that you were clairvoyant from the beginning. I was a clair-knowing, and I never knew how I knew anything. And I didn't say, oh, I have a feeling or this and that. But undoubtedly, I just knew things. And that's how I got my information. Again, not knowing that this is what was happening with me.
Yeah,
I just knew I had to do this or that. Yeah.
I would just say things and get in trouble because of my knowing. I would just share, I had no filter. I would just share, not just seeing, hearing, but I knew. My mother had that gift too.
Okay.
And we would go to Lilydale.
Okay, let's talk about Lilydale, because Lilydale, you grew up in Buffalo or around Buffalo.
Yes.
And it's about an hour away.
Correct.
Spiritualist community. And so what as a child, what was it like for you?
The first time I was very scared because it says very clearly when you come in, this is our belief system, this is our religion, and you respect us. You respect our beliefs. So in other words, take your judgments off, take your coat. So I learned that at a very young age, that, they had little shingles on their houses that would say Reiki, clairvoyant, clairaudient, which was very cool to me. I didn't know. I'm like, what's that? And my mother goes, they can see things, or they can hear things. So we would never go to a house. We would always go to the healing stump and get free readings. And my mother they would always pick on my mother and talk to her.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, she really had some beautiful, profound messages and would cry. So, and the woman said, I don't even speak Spanish. I don't know where that came from, the reader. So it was very cool.
That's so cool. And I take it your mother, because you're a combination of Polish and Puerto Rican. Okay.
Called a porta pole.
What'd you say?
I'm called a porta pole.
I think that's great. I like it purple better, but porta pole is good. And do you still go to Lilydale? Do you make it up there?
I don't go as often as I used to. I haven't been there for probably about 5 years.
I have been trying to get there, and every year something comes up, and I haven't gotten there yet, but it's one of the places I really am drawn to going and seeing.
You should.
What it is.
Yes, you should. My father played saxophone, and every year he would go and they would have a dance, and his group would play. And every year he would either lose his keys or his wallet, and my mother and I would have to go and pick him up. And it's about 45 minutes, 50 minutes away. And I used to tell him, maybe they want to talk to you about something. And he's like, oh, come on. I go, well, this is like 3 years in a row. Something's saying you need to get a message. He goes, it's closed. It was closed. But I still remember that he liked going there too. So.
Well, good energy is good energy, right? I mean, you feel amazing when you're around good energy. And for people to understand what we're talking about, you walk into a room and you can, if it feels great, that's called good energy. If it's not feeling too good, well, the energy's not too good. It could be dirty or negative, whatever, judgment you want on it. And you have to determine what feels right for you.
I had a 3-year-old that taught me warm and fuzzy is good. Yucky, not good.
I love yucky. Not that I love yucky, but I like the word yucky.
I like
because it's so descriptive.
Yes. Yes. Warm and fuzzy, yucky.
It's so simple. Why can't we live in that simplicity?
That's right.
I mean, why can't we be grown-up children?
Right.
Take away all those judgments and those projections and society telling you what you're supposed to be, and take the supposed to out of and be just who you want to be.
Right.
Because look at you. You have literally taken your life and changed it to be the person you want to be.
Yes.
You're in the skin you want to be today.
Yes. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't this way. I was starting to go.
And many people do that. I mean, they say it's too hard for me here, and they, try to leave.
Right.
So let's talk about suicide a second, because you and I had a conversation before we started the podcast. That something just happened in, I can't remember. Kansas, where somebody took their life, and because they were bullied and not accepted and rejected, and it was too painful.
Right.
Holiday seasons can be painful. Holiday seasons can be so challenging. This is no different. How do you talk to your people, your clients, to let them know that this is only temporary, and if you could just work through this, you can create a world that is so wonderful for yourself, as you did?
Mantras. I did a lot of mantras. I am loved. I am strong. I am magic. Those little things, I put them on my mirrors. I used to put them all over my house. So when I open the door, I am strong. I am beautiful. The I ams are very strong.
I'm accepted.
I'm accepted.
That's a huge one, especially if you're not feeling accepted.
I am worthy.
That's a
I am
huger one.
deserve. I deserve. I deserve to be happy.
Yeah, I deserve the life I want to have,
Yes.
rather than the life I have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Skip the last part, but just say I deserve the life I want to have.
Right.
And yeah, I think mantras are so powerful.
The
Because I just want to say this, and I say this every so often, and my belief about suicide is you take a permanent action for something that's temporary, and if you just hang on, things will shift as long as you're willing to shift with it. I mean, there's, it's all free will. And know that if you do choose to take your life and take that permanent action, you're not off the hook. You might be for this life that you were incarnated in, but you will be faced with the same kind of challenges in future incarnations where you're going to run into the same situation or similar situation. And every time you choose the shortcut, it's not a shortcut because you have to do it over and over again. If you stick through it and work through it and, just allow the flow to happen, then guess what? You could check this off your karmic list and know you don't have to worry about running into another situation where, you're going to think of suicide as a way of getting through things. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
What are your feelings about that, Nami?
I don't know if there's karma anymore. I think we're coming out of that paradigm of karma. Every time, well, and maybe it's just me, I don't know. But when I get my hand read, there is no karma. Maybe because I've changed. I don't know. I don't know. But
and you took a different kind of permanent solution. It wasn't a solution to take your life and take a shortcut.
right.
You made the decision to become the person you were meant to be.
Yes, the authentic me.
Yes, and that's the big. So 2023 authenticity. Would you say that's a word for 2023?
Yes, I think that's a great word, to be ourselves and not be put in a box, to be more open and to come out. And the bag lady, really, we try to be, have a safe place for people in the LGBT community, all communities. We're there to help. People that come in a lot of times lost souls.
Yes.
Even doctors and nurses come in and ask, can you show me a rock for protection or for money or whatever the case may be? We're here to help. We're here to help this community.
It's true. And I love being a part of the bag lady community for that reason.
Thank you.
To be of assistance, to be there to help people because, well, I'm not even going to get into it, but I just want to be of service. And that's how I look at being, the bag lady is being of service.
Yes. Of service.
And my clients and classes and yeah.
Yeah. And more men are coming in now, which is awesome.
Yes.
4 years ago, there were men that would come in and kind of whisper and tell me, I need something for protection for my wife, or I need a love rock, or, and now they come in and they go, can I have a love rock? Can I have protection?
Right.
And we're trying to get a ratio of men and women together at the bag lady. I feel like the bag lady is shifting too. She's wanting both.
It's true. I mean, when I started a year ago, it was only women, baguettes, as you call them.
Right.
And now we've got at least 2 men who are just lovely in the baguette circle in the clan.
We have
3. Oh,
yeah, Brendan's in the back.
Oh, that's right, Brendan.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
Yes, Brendan.
Okay. I love him. He is he's called my superstar, my rock star.
He's amazing, and he's got such a great attitude. You're right. And not to forget him. I was just thinking about Devin and Mitchell because they're in the front.
Yes.
It's not so.
Next Doc Alf, I call him.
Yeah. So he is amazing. So, ladies and gentlemen, go check out the bag lady. What's the website for the bag lady?
It is thebaglady.rocks.
Okay, there you and check it out because there's amazing product there. You can make appointments with readers such as Nami or myself at the bag lady. So but take a minute to check it out and see if it doesn't resonate with you.
We
I'm going
have,
to stop
we have
us here.
Facebook.
I'm
We're on-
sorry.
I'm sorry, we're on Facebook and Instagram as well.
Perfect. Check it out. Okay, it's charity shout out time. Nami's charity is timeoutyouth.org. Nami, let's talk about timeoutyouth.org, what it does, how people can help, and what the mission is. Not necessarily in that order.
Okay. It's to help people that are in the LGBT community. We used to donate clothes at the Bag Lady and have bags around November 19th, because that's Trans Day. And with people that didn't want to come out to their parents. So we'd offer clothes, bindings for people. They're just a wonderful community. They helped me when I was going through my transition. I didn't know who to talk to, so I would go and talk to them. They're a wonderful asset to this community and help out the LGBT community.
Please check out timeoutyouth.org and see how you can help them. We are all human beings and we are all light and love. So let's accept everybody in the light and love and the spirit that they are. This is just a costume we're wearing.
That's right.
It goes away, but our eternal light is just that, eternal.
Yes.
So, and what a great time to do this, thinking about end of the year, first of the year, setting intentions and trying to help people live the life they're divinely meant to live, not the ones that they were necessarily given.
Right. That's right.
It's so powerful. So what other insights can you give for 2023? I know I'm jumping a little bit, but I can't.
I feel that people are going to be traveling more because they can. When I do my paintings now, there's a lot of travel that's coming up. So I'm like, oh, there must be a lot of travel going on in 2023. So I feel people will be traveling, doing things worldwide more
globally. So what about COVID and RSV and the flu? I mean, with all due respect, I feel like it happens every year. It's like, this is the worst year. This is the worst flu season. Oh, now we have this and this. And yet, is it the worst flu season? I don't feel it is. I just feel, yes, people want you to protect yourself. But what do you feel is going on with COVID and RSV and
honestly
2023? Okay, now you're not hearing anything, not feeling anything.
I'm not feeling anything. I just I guess I don't want to bring it in. It's not I don't know. I don't have any, I'm not getting anything on it.
Okay, which is fair enough. I'm not trying to bring it in, but I was hoping that maybe the angels will say, oh, it's okay, live your life. Because that's what I hear. Live your life and don't put the energy into it.
I hear be in the moment, just be in the moment. And once we're in the moment, then there's no worry, there's no fear. We just know. There's a knowing.
I love that. Let's talk about fear for 2023. Because I believe if you go through the veil of fear, your life will be so much like you'd be so shocked at how amazing it is.
Yes.
What kind of information do you get regarding fear in 2023?
I just hear believe. If you believe in yourself, there's no fear. If you hear the voices talking to you about calm down, breathe, that's being in the present moment and knowing that we're all going to be okay, no matter what.
I love that, because I think we can be okay if you allow, on top of believing, there has to be, trust, surrender, and allowing.
Yes.
Because without that, you still have all your walls and resistance up. So no matter what the angels are trying to do for you, they're not going to be able to get in. It's like trying to go through a closed brick wall.
That's right. That's what I saw as a brick wall. Yeah.
Yeah, a closed brick wall. And you need to believe and be open to receiving all that is out there to receive.
Yes. And it can be scary sometimes. It can be scary. But know that at the other end, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And, I feel like that's where we're coming into. I remember Michael teaching me 2 years ago, I'm going to pull you into your crap to pull you into your true potential of who you are. And all I kept seeing was cocooning. We were cocooning for 2 years. And look at how many of us have changed because of this COVID. It really was a blessing if we take it that way, because we had to go in within ourselves and trust ourselves. We couldn't go to church, couldn't go to school. So we had to go on the computer, or we had to meditate and breathe in and be more of the light. I'm sure you know this, during COVID, we had at least 50 people down our driveway waiting to come in to get Palo Santo, candles, a rock, readings, because they wanted to know themselves.
Right.
So I felt like that was a blessing for everybody, that we got to go within ourselves and trust.
And here's the other thing. So many of us live this rush, pressured world, especially if you're working for a corporation, because let's face facts, sometimes corporations could be very, very dehumanizing is the word I'm hearing, because
I
it's
heard
all about I'm sorry?
I heard manipulating.
That too. And when COVID happened and you were stuck in your home, it gave you the space and grace to, recharge, restore yourself, because you're not under that daily pressure.
That's right.
And even people who are working out of their homes, they're monitored at their computer to see how much production time they have there. And it's really interesting, because when you work in a corporation, you have the time to go to the bathroom, get a beverage, blah, blah, blah. And nobody sits there and really makes you account for that time. But when you're home, there's a different kind of pressure where you have to account for everything you do. I know when I used to work for companies, if I got a personal phone call, they didn't like it that much, but because I was a producer, they weren't, of being affected. But today's day and age, and working from home, I'm finding that there's less compassion for people to have situations come up. Like, they don't give you the space and grace to have some of that time for yourself,
Right.
even though you're on the clock, so to speak. I don't know how you feel about that, or what you've heard about those things, or what you're hearing or seeing in your mind.
I heard it's chaotic. It's chaotic, and we need to get out of the chaos. It's like they're showing me cows being in stalls, and they're all lined up. We need to get out of the chaos. But things are going to change this year. I keep hearing that corporations are not going to be like they were. People need to work. And if they really want their workers, their employees to be there, they're going to have to shift that mindset.
Yeah. I think many of these corporations, I feel, need to make sure that their employees are honored and valued, rather than treated like a piece of chattel? Is that the right word? Chattel? Yeah. Because they do. I mean, they treat people like chattel, and without respect, and it's demoralizing. And we need to take away the demoralizing and remoralize ourselves.
Correct.
I just made that up.
I liked it.
But
Yeah.
For this holiday, not just for the holidays, for life. I mean, we need to stand in our power, our authenticity.
Yes.
And be treated with all the value that we're producing. Even if you're a line worker, there's value to what you're doing, to the bottom line of what a corporation does.
Absolutely. Where does it start? It starts at the foundation. It doesn't start here. And
but where does the rot start to happen? I learned this phrase: fish starts to rot from the head. And I truly believe that, sometimes it trickles down on how upper management treats their managers, who treat their managers, who treat their, and working in a bank. Okay, I've got to share. I know some people who have worked in banks, and they give you practically unattainable goals, and then push you to attain these practically unattainable goals just so you can live a life.
Wow.
I'm not one that condones that.
Yeah.
I think you can get better production a different way from people.
Teach what we do with the bag ladies. We want everybody to have their gifts and share their gifts. The baguettes, every one of them has so many different gifts. So
Yes.
let's acknowledge their gifts and use them, utilize their gifts, right? I'm not very good at the register. I'm not going to go on the register because I'm dyslexic and I put the numbers in backwards. So that's why we're getting scans now for people that are like me. But I'm sharing with you that find out where their gifts are and utilize that, because that will make them shine and it'll make you shine. It starts with the foundation though. If the foundation is broken, the corporation is broken.
Yeah, it's true. It's very, very true. 2023, I feel, is going to be what I'm visualizing. I don't know how to explain that, but it's almost like, and wait till I'm done talking before you tell me what your thoughts are. But you know how like you see a bomb and the cloud goes up, the mushroom cloud, but instead of it being a negative toxic thing, I see like this happening, a mushroom cloud coming up, but it's rainbow and sparkly and just slowly, going over the lands. That's what's in my mind's eye. I don't know if
That's what I'm working on this year, that ripple effect.
Yes.
Spreading the word about the water, spreading the word about and having a ripple effect, because we can change it. We can
Isn't
change.
we can change everything. Isn't it just as simple as like before you drink a glass of water, even if it's in a bottle, you can just say, I love you.
Mhm.
You're nourishing me.
I do that every day. And
Yes.
I'll share with you when my child was angry at school because he used to see angels, and the teacher said to me, cannot share that with the other kids. And he's telling them, I see your aura is pink today and it's very pretty. And the angel that's with you is blah, blah, blah. And she says, he can't be doing that. And I said, would you rather have him say that he sees devils in people? Negative. I see negativity in you. He's giving them a little message. It's very cute. He goes, she goes, I don't appreciate that. So I said to her, you have your bottle of water? And she said, yes. I said, would you go grab it for me? So she grabbed me her bottle of water and I put love and light in it. But before I did that, I said, take a sip and taste it. What's it taste like? She goes, it tastes like water. I said, okay, here, I'm going to just do a little something if I have your permission. And I put love and light in it. And she drank it and she had this huge smile on her face. And I said, how do you feel right now? She goes, that was really good. It tasted very sweet. And I said, that's what my son's doing. I will tell him not to do this, but I'm just going to share with you that was just giving somebody a positive thing. And he's got all these friends because he tells them all these great things. So I'm sharing that with you, that if we were more open.
And we come from a place of love.
We could see the magic.
I love that. I love that a lot. Okay, we have a couple of minutes left. Tell me, Nami, is there something that I haven't brought up that you'd like to talk about for 2023? A message, a technique? The next few minutes are yours.
A technique I will teach you is that I learned from Cindy Dale. It's bringing heaven on earth. It's bringing it's called the gamma state, if you will, right? We're in the gamma state. When you're in the gamma state, things happen, miracles happen, and being in that oneness. So she taught us that the subluminary realm is below the foundation of earth, and you bring it up through you, and that helps you ground into the earth, into her core. And what I usually do when I do this is I send her a rock and I ask her, what rock would you like today? And she usually tells me quartz, some type of a quartz. So I heard rose quartz. So that's unconditional love. That's complete love. So I always try to give her back, because everybody else, they put all the stuff into her, right? Well, let's give her something so she can hold with that love. So it transmutes that into love. And then I bring in the subluminary, the superluminary realm, which is above the earth. It's in the universal love, right? Universal light. And I bring that through when I start doing my work after I clear my space. And people can really feel that. They can feel And I call it the universal Akashic records, where all knowing is, so that we can, we have these gifts and we can use them. We can utilize this. My bells, I don't know if you can hear my bells are going off.
I do hear your bells.
So, going into this space is knowing there's no fear, there's no anxiety. There's just a knowing of I'm safe and I'm so loved.
Yeah, which is beautiful. It is so, so beautiful. And it's a great technique. Now, I do something similar where I bring up the earth energy. I bring down the universal energy. It meets in the heart, mixes, and then I send it back up. So we're just doing both for both. One of the other things I like to do is I call an archangel, Raphael, Ariel, and Azrael, and I ask them to weave a blanket, and I do my colors, and my, purple, what is it? Lavender, pink, magenta, turquoise, gold, and white light. And I want the planet to be wrapped. So the planet, and then every being on the planet receives what it is they need and want.
Right.
And, then of course, thank them. You've got to always say thank you. You've got to give your gratitude.
Absolutely.
And thank them in advance for what they're doing for you. When you're calling out and asking for help, and tell me if you agree with this, that you just always say, thank you for bringing me the perfect job where I can be, or the abundance and prosperity, or the great health, or blah, 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 to let them know you're grateful for what they have, what they're bringing to you.
I do that before bed, and I do that when I get up. 10 gratitudes in the morning, 10 gratitudes at night.
Beautiful. I love that. Nami, thank you so much for being on the show, for being on the last show of the 2022 season.
And I do want to share with you really quick about my book. I have
yes, please.
I have the book called The Tear Behind the Eye. It's my transition about all my journey through it. And then the second book is called You Can't Make This Shit Up. It's all my spiritual stuff that's happened. I have pictures of angels. I have pictures of the Virgin Mary that came through my laundry. And then I have Healing Angels is all my paintings with messages. So that's a trilogy that'll be coming out in 2023, 2024.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. I want to, Nami, love you. You know it. I want to thank Bridget, all you do for me, my right hand, my left hand, my tech genius. Thank you. I want to thank you, the listening audience, for taking time out of your day, out of your life, not just today, but throughout this whole year, because I do the show. The show is created for you. And I am so grateful that I'm able to do this and bring to you amazing people like Nami Nesterowicz, as well as the other guests I've had on all year long, to bring you information and guidance and new techniques, help you open up your abilities, because you all have them, just as I do, just as Nami does. So thank you. If you like the show, please like it, subscribe to it, continue watching it in 2023, because we've got an amazing lineup. Also, I'd love to know your thoughts about the show, people you might like to see on the show, or techniques or concepts. So please email me at guidedspiritconversations@gmail.com or at marla@mghealer.com. I also want to wish you the most incredible New Year's holiday completion, and the most incredible, prosperous, healthy, joyful, abundant 2023. As I leave you, as always, I send you with love, blessings, and gratitude. Know how grateful I am that you're in my life in whatever capacity you're in it. Not only are you my student, you are my teacher. I'm not just a teacher, I am a student. And I am your student. And I say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't heard these words, let me say them to you. And if you have heard them, well, I'm just one more person spreading this word around. I love you. You are loved. Not just by me, not just by your family and friends. You have a plethora of spiritual beings on the other side of the veil who are just waiting for you to ask for what you need, want, and desire, so they can conspire on your behalf. You need to ask. Please say thank you. Let them know you're grateful for all they do for you. and know that if something isn't quite the way they are, you need to look for the gift, opportunity, or lesson in the experience. Okay, I leave you this 2022. I look forward to seeing you in 2023. I love you and have the most incredible day.